Hey everyone, I am so excited to be here today. I have the enormous opportunity to be sitting with a gentleman who is phenomenal. We're going to dive into it and give you a little context on it, but you know, the whole idea behind this talk is to sort of unpack ideas, thoughts, strategies, right? Success. What is the formula and how do we get there? Now, every single person has their own unique and different road, but I believe that there's certain things that we can take and we can translate and we can share, much like a recipe. And if we follow the recipe and the ingredients, we're going to be able to get there. So I am super excited to be here with my buddy Marlon Greenwood.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for having me.
It is such a pleasure to be here with you, my friend.
Same here.
We have a ton to talk about. I want to give a little bit of context though, because you've done some amazing things. And when we talk about success, this man is the embodiment of that. I mean, this success is sitting right here. So
thank you very much. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, well, you know, you're very modest at the same time, so appreciate that. But let's kind of go back to where did you start out? Where were you born?
I was born in Kingston, Jamaica. I have 7 brothers and 4 sisters, and I remember growing up in Jamaica. We used to walk barefoot on the ground, you know, so it was really rough. My father came to the States in 1989 looking for a better life for us. And we came here. I came here when I was 11. We lived in Freeport, Long Island. And that's where I grew up, and that's where everything started for me. You know, my father was my first mentor, and I was fortunate to have my gym teacher, Russ Ellen, who I will expound more upon as we get into the discussion.
He was one of those pivotal people in your life.
Absolutely, okay. Absolutely. I think, you know, my father used to always say this, do your best at any contest and God will do the rest. That was the first three-step to achieve great.
Like the formula.
The formula.
Give it to me again.
Do your best at any contest and God will do the rest. All right. Basically, he was saying that no matter what you're doing, always put your best foot forward. Whether it's in school, I would make sure I was an honor roller. I honor rolled marking period. Yeah. When I wrestled, you know, I put my best foot forward. I took 4th in counting my first year. I end up winning 5 state championships.
So let's unpack that a little bit. So athletics has been a big part of your success, a formula, a part of that formula, right? Absolutely.
Athletics, whatever I took a liking to. And even started doing music in 9th grade. You know, once I figured out it's just about making songs rhyme and coming up with a catchy hook. And when my father told me that, and I went on to doing good in school, and he was the first mentor to kind of started everything for me. He was a motivator, and he had a lot of talent too. He was a jack of all trades. You know, he was a carpenter. He didn't mess with the electricity though. He said didn't want to get electrocuted. None of that. He could cook, an entrepreneur, a mechanic.
Excellent.
And all those things, and he was a very hard worker.
So I think in that we're seeing that having mentors or having people that guide you. You were fortunate to have a terrific dad. Yeah. But then you also had your gym teacher.
My gym teacher. Yeah. So here's
put you on the road.
Put you on the road.
Yeah.
So coming from Jamaica, like I didn't know how it was in America. You know, my parents talk about things that we knew in Jamaica. Right. So coming over here, my gym teacher saw something in me I didn't realize in myself. Coming from Jamaica, I played soccer, you know, and I didn't know anything about football. I didn't know anything about wrestling. Actually, let me tell you, my gym teacher got me involved in wrestling first, and I remember when I went down it was my freshman year, and we played a game called King of the Mat. And we were on our knees. They didn't want to get hurt, so he taught me this one move called a pancake, where you got to pull down on the tricep and then pin them, right? And I pinned everybody. And guys that were on the wrestling team, guys that were bigger than me, smaller than me, I pinned everybody.
So you were brand new. You didn't know. You didn't know what you were doing.
All he taught me was a pancake. This is a pancake, and
now go do it.
Go do it.
I love it.
Come, do your best at any contest. God will do the rest.
There you go.
Just learn this one pancake and just pancake everybody. So I didn't just win it one time, I won it 3 times, and because the gym period was like 45 minutes. After that gym class, the coach came up to me and was like, you know what, Marlon, you should join the wrestling team. And I said, Mr. Selling, because I called him Mr. Selling at the time, I don't think I'm big enough to jump off any ropes. And he was like, it's not WWF, because at the time it was WWF. Coming from Jamaica, I used to watch Hulk Hogan, you know, Ultimate Warrior, all that. And because I didn't even know that you have Olympic style wrestling, that the school had it.
Right.
So I didn't go out for wrestling that year. I went out my sophomore year.
Yeah. And
he saw how fast I picked it up. I took 4th in the county, and then he recruited me for football.
Tell me about that, because at the end, ultimately, you ended up playing professional football for a couple of teams.
Yes.
And that led to the foundation. We're going to get to all of that. But I think we were talking off camera before, you were sharing about how you got into football, and that's a fascinating story. Share a little bit about that.
So, going into my junior year, because after the wrestling season, I went on and I wrestled freestyle, and I won the Empire State Games at 191 pounds over the summer. And ironically, it was at Syracuse University. And I'll tell you why I say that, because that's where I ended up getting a full scholarship to college.
Right.
This was before I even played football. I went up there and I won the state championship up there in freestyle and for the Empire State Games. Then Coach Sellen started recruiting me for football. Mm-hmm. He started recruiting me like toward the end of the year. He was popping up everywhere my class was. And I thought it was just a coincidence.
That he happened to be there.
He just happened to be there. I'd be like, oh, how come I'm seeing Coach Sellen everywhere where I'm at, right? And then he told me later on that he knew my schedule, and he was just wanted to make sure that it took him 1 month to convince me. You know, he started saying, like, Marlon, you could be the kicker. You know, you don't have to stop playing soccer, because football and soccer was in the same season, in the fall season. So it was a very difficult decision for me, because I've been playing soccer since I was 5 years old. Right. I was one of the better soccer players, and he just kept on convincing me, come on, and play football, and I just didn't want to do it. I said, this is a very...
You didn't know how to play football. You didn't know.
I didn't know. I didn't even watch a football game. All I saw was, when I was watching the highlights, I know that it's Joe Montana now, but back then I didn't know. When he got hit and he fell on his head, and I was like, who would play a sport like this? And whenever you would watch it, and it seemed like everybody was just running into each other, and I was like, why they always running into each other? You used to just flick the channel. And I remember when he told me that you could still be the soccer player and you could still come out and play football. And then he switched and be like, you could be a good defensive end. You don't have to worry about cover the flats. The linebackers got to do that. Don't worry about it.
Did you know what the flats were?
Didn't even know what the flats were. Yeah. He was like, he could cover the flats. What's that? He was like, don't worry about it. You know. And he just told me 3 things: line up here, don't be offsides, and wherever you see the football, just go get it. So it's funny that he does another 3.
There's another 3 things.
Another 3 things. You know.
I love the third one. I mean, all 3 are great.
Yeah.
But give me the third one again. I want to make sure people hear what.
Third one is, wherever you see the football, just go get it.
So you don't even know anything else. Wherever that ball is, and whoever has it, you go tackle that guy.
Whoever had the football, I was going to go get him.
And that was your knowledge of football.
And that's basically what I was doing.
Yeah. And you did that well.
Yeah, so like it
so well that you got a scholarship.
Scholarship. After my first year playing football, I got a full scholarship. I remember my first year playing, I didn't even know what a first down was. I remember I played in 4 games already. Yeah. And I mean, now I know that
you're chasing the guy with the ball.
Now I know that I was killing it. I was getting sacks, I was getting tackled for losses, and I was getting forced fumbles and all of that. But I was just going to go I didn't know what the rules were. I was just going to hit the guy with the ball.
Hit the guy with the ball. That's all you know. This guy with the ball, you go find him and get him.
It was like Bobby Boucher, the water boy.
Yeah.
You know, ever seen that when you just, and you just go get Bob with, it was like a comedic version of that.
But that is remarkable. Let me kind of unpack that, because there are guys that play football their entire lives and don't get that far. You started with a real simple rule. You obviously had a lot of talent. Yeah. And you followed the simple rule. The coach was smart enough to say, don't worry about all the rest. You just do this one thing and do it well. Yeah. And you end up getting a scholarship to Syracuse.
You know, when you said about that, I thought about the conversation that I had with my father before I started playing football. Yeah. Because I had a discussion with my father, and I said, you know, do you think I should play? You know, because Coach Sellen, where he got me to play, he said, Marlon, football starts 2 weeks before soccer. Come out, try it out. If you like it, you can stay. If you don't like it, you can always go back to soccer. And I was like,
it's like a no risk proposition.
Oh, you got a point right there, right?
That's good.
And then I went on. Yeah, exactly. And then I went and I spoke to my father, and my father said, you know, Marlon, I don't know much about the football thing. But one thing I want you to know is, if you go and you do it, just do your best.
That's right. Go back to the 3 principles.
Exactly.
I love it.
That's
amazing. Let's fast forward a little bit. So tell me about the first down story.
Oh, all right, first down. So here I was, I played 4 games in high school, and I didn't even know what a first down was. We were in practice, and Coach Helen came to me and was like, Marlon, what do you think they're going to do on first down? And I was like looking at him, and it was like, Marlon, what do you think they're going to do on first down? You know, coaches are, right?
Right.
You know, how dare you not answer when I talk to you, right?
Yeah.
And then he was about to let me have it, and as soon as he was about to let me have it, he caught himself. Was like, oh, you don't even know what a first down is, do you? And I'm looking at him saying, no. And he said, well, I'm not going to tell you. Your job is to go home and watch Monday Night Football, and you tell me. And when I tell the story, I think about watching my first football game and going there to try to figure out what a first down is. Try to figure it out. And with the Dallas Cowboys playing the Arizona Cardinals. This was before I knew that I was going to get a scholarship.
Yeah.
This is before I knew I was going to play in the NFL,
yeah.
playing the Dallas Cowboys, playing the Arizona Cardinals. And that's why sometimes when I talk to kids, I let them know that you never know what your future is going to hold. You know, and you just have to believe in yourself and just keep on working hard. But
that's
yeah,
amazing.
man,
that's
didn't know the first
We're going to
time.
jump forward, but I just want to make sure people understand exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
You had already played 4 football games.
Yeah.
You did not know what a first down was.
Nah.
You were just following the simple rule.
Line up here.
Line up here. Don't be offside.
And wherever you see the
wherever you see football, tackle that guy.
Yeah, just go get it. Yeah.
And then from that beginning, within about 1.5 years to 2 years, you end up getting a full ride scholarship to Syracuse.
Yep. After the first year
That's
playing.
amazing.
After the first year, I got a full scholarship.
That is just that's unbelievable. I mean, that's a story.
And you know, I didn't even know that you could even get a scholarship to play football.
Yeah.
Who gets a scholarship to play a sport? I mean, I could get a scholarship
just for having fun.
And because we weren't having those conversations at home. That's where mentorship. That's where having the experience of being here in America with Coach Sullen as a mentor helped me because he saw the possibilities of what football could do for me. Amazing. I didn't know that.
Which is going to lead us into the next thing. So you go to Syracuse, you get a full ride scholarship, you do incredibly well there after playing football for just a short period of time, and you end up in the pros.
Yes.
2 teams.
2 teams.
You played for about 15 years?
Yeah, I played, in college I started 48 consecutive games at Syracuse, was team captain my senior year. Wow. Got drafted by the Miami Dolphins in the 3rd round, started 4 years for the Miami Dolphins, and then when I signed with the Houston Texans, that's when I was able to fulfill my childhood dream, which I didn't talk about. Since I was 5, I wanted to help my family. That was one of my goals. That was my driving force. And when I signed with the Houston Texans, I was able to do that. Then I told my family that I wanted to do this since I was 5. I didn't know how I was going to do it. I knew the step 1 and the step 3. Yeah. I didn't know the how.
We go back to the 3. We go back to Formula 3.
The formula, Formula 3, which is a formula that I want to share later on.
We will in a minute. So, so then you play ball, you go to football, your professional career, and then post-career. Talk to me about you are now doing that exact thing that you talked about for your family since you were 5. Yeah. Now you're giving back to the community through the foundation. Share a little bit about that.
So I was that youth coming up. We're Marlon Greenwood Foundation. We're a leadership and mentorship program for socioeconomic disadvantaged youth and adolescents. Okay. You know, our mission is to raise up youth to become successful, socially responsible citizens through mentorship imparted to encourage the realization of their full potential while respecting diversity within the community. Okay. And our motto is believe it and you will achieve it. So I was that youth coming up looking for that guidance and direction, trying to help my family. And that's where the foundation came in. And I'm also the vice president of the NFL Alumni Las Vegas chapter. Awesome. So I'm serving as that because the NFL created that platform for me to help my family. Yeah. So I want to give back to both nonprofit organizations, you know, my own organization, also the NFL Alumni, to be able to give youth that opportunity like I had.
Excellent. How long has the foundation been running now?
Well, I started in 2003 in Miami, but I was playing for Miami. I didn't have the time to allocate to it like I have now. So I reestablished it in 2015 here in Las Vegas. We do the free football camps for the kids. We started doing that football to bring them in, but it's to teach them the importance of education, staying on the right path, and to ignite that spark within them so that they can know that they can achieve it too, just by hearing the stories of these guys that
replicate
they look up to.
That same,
your
dad and your coach.
Exactly.
And you can tell the kid, go chase that guy with the ball and tackle him. Keep it simple.
You keep it simple and just be able to also let them know that they have to believe in themselves as well. Because I believed that I was going to be the one to help my family. And I didn't know how I was going to do it, but God made that path for me.
I love
my
that.
father
That
and my
is,
coach.
we just encapsulated an entire lifetime, and you got obviously much more to do here, but that's just an amazing story. What's next for the foundation? Where do you see things going in the next 5-10 years?
So we want to have those camps year round. So one of the things that we're working on doing is putting a facility in place where we can house the youth year round. They can have a place where they can go to, providing all the wraparound services
right
for
here
them.
in Las
right
Vegas.
here in Las Vegas. This is where I'm living.
Right here in Vegas.
Right here in Vegas. And this is where it starts. And hopefully we can be able to duplicate this across the country to different places, to all youth. But you got to start and do one right the first time, so it can have the proof of concept. So it's going to have all the wraparound services, mental health, behavioral health, tutoring classes, mentorship classes, leadership classes, wellness classes, entrepreneurship classes. We're going to also have a trade school on there. It's going to be multi-sports, not just football, because kids are into all different types of sports. They're going to have an art program, a creative side to it, because I understand how important that is with the music that I did. I have songs with Pitbull and Florida. I started writing songs over the years, developing them, and when I got drafted, that's another story. When I got hurt, they had me get up and sing a song. I did one of my songs, and next thing you know, I'm in the studio.
Are you going to write a book? You should be writing a book, my friend.
I
mean, there's a lot to tell in your story.
It's a lot. It's probably going to be a series.
I would agree. And all the chapters haven't been written yet. So
there's still more to go on, right?
But that's phenomenal. I mean, not only your story, coming from what you did in Jamaica, and you had told me off camera, when you were walking around and you had a needle in your foot.
I thought the needle,
Didn't even know about it, and to where you are today is phenomenal.
Man, it's fun about that sewing needle, and I remember when I got hurt, my rookie year, I was projected to be the starter. Talk about adversity. Work all these years to achieve that. You're projected to be the starter, then your midfoot gets sprained and you're on crutches for a month, and they go to the MRI, they can't figure out what's wrong with you, because you have metal in your foot. I never had surgery before. How come you have metal in your foot? Then they do the x-ray and they find out I have a sewn needle in my foot. Well, where does this come from? Well, I used to walk barefoot on the ground in Jamaica.
So all those years.
All these years I never knew.
Lucky needle that's sitting in your foot.
Never knew that this needle in my foot. And I want to tell you a story about the needle. Well, when I think about it, there's always a why. Why is there a needle in my foot? And I think the needle was put there to let me take a leap of faith during my rookie year. Because if I had ever figure out on the MRI what was really wrong with my foot, I probably would have got surgery, and I probably would have, because I've seen it happen to another player. He had the same injury, but he saw what was wrong. He put a screw in his foot. He was out of the league in like 2 years.
Wow,
and
that's amazing.
And I knew that needle was to have me have that faith to be like, because I didn't know what was wrong with my foot. And the doctors would say, you need to have surgery. And I said, let me pray on it. And I talked to my father. My father was like, Marlon, I'm not too fond of surgery. Let's wait it out and see what happened. So, I waited out. Then I had to go through a lot of pain and a lot of rehab. And up to this day, it still bothers me. But
the needle's still in your foot.
But the needle's still in the foot.
Don't lose that needle. Let's talk about what we talked about the foundation. What's next? I want to talk about sort of the principles. And by the way, if people want to get involved, we're going to put it on the screen.
No, absolutely.
It'll be on there. But where can people get a hold of you and the foundation?
Well, our website is mg52.org. That's MG as Marlon Greenwood, and my number was 52 when I played in Freeport in high school. Syracuse, and also Miami Dolphins. The only when I went to Houston, they gave me 56. You believe that?
They changed it up on me.
They changed it up on me.
No way.
But mg52.org. And 1952 was the year my father was born. Wow. And my coach gave me that number 52. But that's another story too.
Did he know your dad was born that year?
No, he didn't know. He just gave me the number, and I was having that conversation with my father. And I was telling my father how I got the number, and my father said, oh, I thought you got it because I was born in 1952. I was like,
Yeah,
you're born in 1952? You know,
of course,
Dad. You know.
It's all about it. It's all about it.
Yeah.
Let's kind of round off with, there's so much here to unpack, and we're gonna have to do this again.
Yeah.
But there was one quote that you put in, or I read about you, where you said, what is that amazing quote? Start fast
and finish strong.
Finish strong. Tell me about that. Where'd that come from?
That come from, you know, I basically, you know, that's an addition to the 3 components that I feel like if every youth or every person, doesn't have to be a youth, follow these steps, I think they could be successful in anything they do. The number 1 step is to figure out what you want to accomplish, what's your passion, what you really want to do. Step number 2 is to figure out how you're going to do it. There's so much information out there. You have different mentors, different teachers, professors, people that have done it before that you could study and do that research. And once you figure out how it's done, then the 3rd step is where a lot of people fail, is you actually have to put in the work. You know, some people think it's just do it. Just like Nike commercial, right? You know, simple, just do it. It's like a lot of people think it's going to happen during that, like that 4-minute video or that 2-minute movie, and they get inspired and motivated, and then 3 days later or a week later, 2 months, a month later, they lose that motivation because they weren't driven. They need to have something that is driving them. That's where the passion comes in. That no matter what, you're going to keep on doing this.
I love that. I wanted to ask you this before. I didn't get to it, but let me ask you now. The why. What is your why?
My why is I want to be able to, every youth, to be able to experience what I did coming up by creating a platform for them to be able to do that. I saw how, I look back at my life and I see how I was in Jamaica. I was walking barefoot on the ground and didn't even have shoes, and the life that I was able to accomplish just by me just wanting to help my family, having that desire, right, to help my family. And the path that it came by having mentors like my father, like my coach, and then having the opportunity by getting a scholarship and doing the right thing, and also being able and working hard and overcoming adversity with the injuries, and just always believing in God, but also believing in myself, because God created. And that God gave me this opportunity to be able to do it. And I tell people that once you have life, you have an opportunity, and it doesn't matter what your circumstances is, as long as you are willing to change your circumstances, you can do it. You just have to make that decision.
That is powerful, my friend. Once you have life,
you have an opportunity.
You have an opportunity.
So it doesn't matter what your circumstances is, you have the choice to change that circumstances by making that decision to do so.
Man, that is powerful. I'm going to keep that one.
Yeah, no,
I'm going to use that one myself.
No, absolutely, yeah.
I'll quote you though.
No,
Okay?
no.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, these things are inspired.
Marlon,
hey,
thank you so much, man.
Thank you very much for having me.
There's so much more that we can talk about, and all the other projects you got going on. But I love not only the story, but the fact that you're taking, and as you say, your why is to replicate that for other people and give back for your family, but also for our community.
Absolutely.
And that's unbelievably powerful, and I thank you for that.
100%.
So, yeah. We're going to leave it there, guys, but there's so much more to this man's story. Please go to the foundation's website, get a hold of them. You know, there's got to be a way, there is absolutely a way where they can contribute, people that are going to want to contribute.
Yeah.
You don't need to invent it. They can just go and they can plug in. And
they can plug in there. There's on the front page, you could donate to the foundation. Thank you very much.
Let's get out, let's contribute, let's make this happen.
Yes.
Dude.
Hey. All right.